Trying it out. Let's see. Am I doing everything right? I think I am. I think I got it. I think I do. What's happening, y'all? I'm waiting for Ty to jump on here. This is our first time. It's the first time that We Pop and Son talk show is going live on Insta. I mean, well, we always go live on Insta, on YouTube. It's our first YouTube live here on YouTube. So let's see what Ty figured out. Last time we tried this, Ty wasn't able to get his sound up. So we'll see what happened this time. We will see. So far, I have no idea. So anyway, I'm gonna chop it up with y'all until dude get on here. So for those of you who do not know, I am Cavario H, aka the Mind Plug. I am a author. I've written several books. You can go to my website, themindplugacademy.com, and catch my books on there. And got my autobiography, Raised by Wolves, which is my first book. And then I have my second book, which is a political fiction piece. This is my autobiography, Raised by Wolves. And, I was born into a certain type of family. I was born into a crime family in Harlem in the 60s. So that's what I grew up in. So this is me as a kid. That's me at 15, right there, in the Copacabana, right there. Everything is reversed, so it's kind of confusing. So it's me at 15 years old. And this is me at 14 years old. And that's my cousin David, my cousin Lance, my best friend Edgar, and Saladin, his younger brother, 42nd Street. You did. And it's me at 16, right there, the rooftop. This is me at like 23. 20,000 on my back, 15,000 on my girl back. This is me at the rooftop too with the Uzi machine pistol. Yep. This is me and my mother on her 50th birthday. I've taken to the Apollo to see Al Jarreau and Phyllis Hyman. This is me a year after I retired from the street. This is weird. I got to get used to this. I don't know. I don't think Ty figured it out. I don't see Ty on this bitch. This is my third book, Old Gangsters and Young Guns. This is the Don Diva book. So I'm Don Diva for those of you who don't know. I'm the person who created it with my ex. And I did all the writing, I took all the pictures, did all the interviews, and did distribution across the country. And I am the personification of the publication that people came to know as Don Diva. So I'm also gonna go live on my too. At the same time, go live on my Instagram like I always do every Tuesday and Thursday. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday on Instagram. Peace, peace, peace. What's up, y'all? Waiting for Ty to jump on here. I guess I'm simulcasting right now on YouTube. So we trying this out for the first time. See how this work out. You know what I mean? What up, Jug 410? Appreciate you for tapping in. Just waiting for Mr. TyMillz to get himself on board. I see you, Red Beam Team, Pachanga Poppy. You dig? SKHI1, I guess Ski 1, huh? What's going on, champ? Never lacking. Thanks for joining us. Peace to you, Pachanga. AJ89 Strive, I see you. Thanks for joining us here, man. Westside Donnie 78, man. Peace, man. Thanks for joining us here on the We Pop and Son Talk Show. And I'm just waiting for Mr. Comedian TyMillz to get with us. I'm trying this YouTube thing. You know what I mean? And uh, trying to go live with this YouTube. I'm pretty sure I am live. Pretty sure I got it figured out here. But we're gonna see what happened with Ty. Last time we tried this, Ty couldn't get his sound going. So we'll see what's what. We'll see how that work out. And respect, be more. What's happening? Be more. What's going on? You know that's my town. You know that's my second home, man. Be more, the town of Be more, the city of Be more. What's going on, Quans? I see you, Quans. What's up? Where the hell's Ty? Ty must be in transit or something, man. So it's a lot going on, man. Oh, there you go. There you go. Can you give us a story about Power, Oliver Grant, bro? Oh man, yesterday was hard. It was a hard day, man. You know, let me bring Ty in here. Oh wait, no, that's not Ty. Where the hell is Ty? Where you at, Ty? Oh, there you go. I there. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So my what up, Rahman Kareem Sundiata 3? What's happening with you? And I don't see you, Ty. You might have to tap out and tap back in, Brody. I don't see you. I can hear you, but I don't see you. So for those of you who don't know, Ali Grant, aka Power, is one of the founders of the Wu-Tang. He executive produced all of the songs, all of the music. He was the founding financier of it, you know. He didn't want to put up the bread. And he was not just money, he was mind. What up? What's going on, Kev? Kev Richardson. That's my man, Kev Richardson Photography. One of the best photographers in New York City, man. I met Kev on my way to Cancun. Met him in Cancun, man, like 30 years ago, man. What's up, Kev? Me and Kev been tight ever since. So Ali, or Power as people knew him, he was the one. I used to call him the Woo Glue. You know, he's the one that made them, do Woo Wear before Sean John, before Rockaware, before State Property, before any of that. It was Woo Wear first, and that was the brainchild of Power, man, Ali Grant. Ali passed, I guess, about maybe Monday or so. I was apprised of it Tuesday, so maybe Monday. It may have happened Monday, and he was 52 years old, and he died of autoimmune disease, which he had been battling with for a little while. And that's when your immune system attacks you. You know, there you go. What's happening? I'm live on what you call on YouTube, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube.
You doubled up on them.
Yeah, man. We got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to push it. We got to push it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this at the same time on YouTube. So
I gotta get me another phone.
yeah, or get a damn laptop, you know what I mean? Or what you call it? I mean, shit, you can get a decent laptop now. It's crazy. You can get a decent laptop now for a couple $100. It's crazy. My first laptop was like $3,500, $3,800. And so Ali he was really the mastermind, you know. Without Ali, I don't see there being a Wu-Tang. And, and again, Power. That's what everybody called him, Power. But man, he was a visionary. He was a visionary. You know, we would hang out at different spots, different clubs, we connect, and his conversation, man, was so elevated, bro. It's not common to, and y'all know this, like everybody, huh?
Peace, God.
You dig? Peace to the gods, man. Peace to the gods and earth, man. Ali was the shit. Ali, a lot of people. Ali was born in Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica, Yard man, and he grew up in Staten Island, and he was a visionary. a true visionary. You know, he wasn't made up and contrived like a lot of cats are, where they have this. It's easy to fool people that don't know shit, bro. Like, if you show up on your screen with a bunch of fancy shit, jewelry, clothes, and a car, whatever, people don't have to know where you came from, what your come up was, and none of that. You start talking, they just start listening, and that's dumb. That's dumb. It's dumb as fuck, you know. But Ali is one of the guys that came from an era where that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all, you know. Like, you had to actually, your work had to speak for you. You had to actually be doing something in order for you to be able to, get a a name and a rep that people are gonna respect. You know, when you walk up to a door at a spot and people, look at you and be like, "Oh, I know who you are," and move that rope and fuck a line and all of that. Like, he came from that, and that, that's why we connected like we did, because he watched me grind and bust my ass, man. Building Don Diva. He watched me be everywhere. You know, just doing what I got to do, being humble, and putting my brand out there and really working that thing. And that's what he was on. He was making moves, man. He was making moves. Ali knew how to connect with all kinds of people.
I was just saying how like in the Source Awards, after the awards, people come down there on like a Thursday, they stay down there for the awards. Sunday, by Sunday night, Monday morning, niggas getting up out of there. But the niggas who down there, they really got business and they get this they real life. They there 2-3 weeks, a
That's
month
right.
after we was down there
That's right.
running the power all the time. It's
That's
like,
right.
Lil Mario, what you doing?
That's
Where
right.
Pops at?
That's right.
It's
That's a
always
fact.
love.
That's right. That's right. You right. Like, niggas be going by that Monday morning, that Monday night, or that following Tuesday, because sometimes them flights getting out of there it was crazy for niggas, but we was on the road in the van, so we'd be there for 2 weeks after, you know, building on all those connections we made over the weekend. We didn't just come there to shake our ass and be seen. It wasn't like that. Ali was on it like that, man. That's why he made the kind of moves he did. And what's crazy? He's really about the moves because a lot of people didn't see him. If you weren't a person who was in the move, in like making moves and in the mix, you didn't see him, and you didn't even know him. Like, when people saw him in black and white,
Really.
or belly first, right? That's when a lot of people who were not industry people first saw him, but they didn't know this is, the woo glue. I used to call him the woo glue. They didn't know that he was behind that woo movement. They just thought he was just this real cool, convincing dude. It was like, damn, this actor is really good at acting like this street person, but he wasn't acting. He wasn't acting. That was him. That was really him. That's his get down. And in black and white, which again, that's him. That's Ali, or Ali. His name is Oliver. Um, so he was behind that as well, and look how many careers came out of that. And look at the people. I mean, he had Robert Downey Jr. in it, and Robert Downey had been around, Less Than Zero and all that, whatever. Like, Robert Downey had been around, but he was also like down. He wasn't good. He was a young actor who'd gotten on, whatever, but then he started having drug problems, whatever. He was really washed out. Oliver gave him another shot, and he got in there and went crazy with it. Like, he even made Mike. Like, Mike really snatched him up because he really played with Mike on that set just to get that reaction out of him. You know what I'm saying? Mike almost killed him. He almost being the death on that set for real.
I
You
remember
know.
that scene.
But a lot of people don't know about black and white. And if you haven't seen black and white, man, y'all gotta check black and white out. Like, there was nothing like black and white when that movie came out,
Yes.
and it's really about black people and white people and the clashing of the cultures and all of that. A lot of people got put on. That was '98. A lot of people got put on to our underground street. Like I've always said, the industry has always emulated in the street niggas, right? So the way that hustlers dressed and all of that, our attitudes, that's what rappers emulated. And fashion, especially because fashion, you could do fashion without having to carry all the other energy that come along with the people whom you're imitating, you know, the toughness, the danger, and all that kind of stuff. And so in that movie, he was busting out all type shit, you know, the whole Coogee fit, you know what I mean, pants and the vest and the hat and the Avrix joints, you know, the Avrix jackets and shit like that. Like he was doing the things that we had been doing since the '80s, you know, and that movie was one of those movies that it really was. It crossed over, you know, and so a lot of people outside of our culture got to see what the inner city urban swag was really like, you know, and he was doing things that a lot of people even from the hood weren't able to do and wanted to do, always wanted to do. You know, they weren't able to do it when we was doing that shit. We was rocking Avrix. And when I say we, I mean a handful of niggas was rocking Avrix jackets and, you know, 83, 84, 85, you know, Pele's and all that. Like a handful, bro. Don't let niggas fool you. A handful. When I'm talking about out of, you know, a million niggas, maybe, you know, 1,500. Like for real. Niggas was not spending 3, 5. Nah, them shits was like 400, 500 back then. You know what I mean? For the Average jackets. And, you know, by 88, 89, we was all in North Beach, you know? So, and I say we all, I mean, still, even a smaller group of motherfuckers, because that, back then, you talking about 900, 1,000, $1,100 for a jacket, for a leather jacket, you know. So a lot of people weren't able to do it then, you know, and industry blew up, whatever, and a lot of those cats that grew up as fans of our fashion, our style, they tapped in, you know, to that rap money, whatever, and then the first thing they want to do is dress like street niggas, dress like the street niggas they grew up under, you know. That's Cam, that's Jimmy, that's all of them's like that, you know. And you know, Ali, he was really a fashion catalyst for like the urban fashion. Like you could say he pioneered that transition of making urban fashion into like contemporary urban fashion. You know, the urban, because there's a different urban fashion. There's an urban fashion from the time that I was raised by, which was very, very high end and very, very expensive. And then there's the, you know, the common level urban fashion where it's just like, you know, kids wearing bubble jackets and baggy pants and that kind of thing, that type of shit, you know. And he is one that really took that shit mainstream and had people who were not us, you know, people in Japan and, you know, people in Amsterdam, people in the UK dressing like us, you know, because the woo was went worldwide. So, you know, a lot of people who were not from our environments started to assimilate with our fashion sense. And Ali Grant, aka Power, was one of the forefathers and the forerunners of that. Don't sleep. For real. Man, it's like I'm having a hard time talking about him. But you know, I want to give him his praise. I want to give him his you know, his props and, you know, his posthumous flowers, you know. A lot of people loved and everybody loved and respected Ali. You know, everybody, man. And you know, we had some great conversations, man. Our building sessions, as you might imagine, man. Like the way he behaved on camera, that was him. That was him.
No,
There
I
was
remember
no
when
acting.
they was shooting the Triumph video, and we was out there for 2 days,
No,
three
that's not
days
the Triumph. That wasn't Triumph. That was the pink something, something pink, something pink. Because I posted a picture from that. A picture I took of him, Master Killer, and Ray. You know, I
That
took
was
a
the
bunch of pictures
Triumph
that day.
video too, because it was they had all. Remember they was all shooting their different scenes in all the different rooms.
Yeah,
They
that was
shot the
that
same
video. that was that video. That was that. I thought it was Triumph too, but this was because Jay Jess's he shot that, he directed that, and it was in 2000. That was 2000 and I believe 2002. Yeah, and I just posted a picture from that set. We took a lot of. I think that was the. I got a picture of me and the entire Wu. The only person that's missing is Old Dirty because he was locked up. He's the only person that's missing. Everybody was there. It was wild. That set was wild.
I remember that whole.
We was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Brooklyn. That set was wild. That set was wild.
You left us in the car for man. You left us in the car. We was in the car for at least 6-7 hours. He was like, all right, nigga, like just.
Yo, bro, it was crazy. But don't get it. It wasn't a car, y'all. It was the Don Diva van. The Don Diva van was a conversion van. It like had beds in it, and it had bed in it. It had captain chairs, recline out, TV, VHS, music. Like it had everything with a bathroom in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how it was. That was the grind. That was the grind. And the the set was so crazy because this giant warehouse in Brooklyn. And I always wondered if it's the same warehouse that Buster and Missy and them were in when Israel got killed. I always wondered if it's the same place. I know it's a lot of those places out there. But yeah, that set was so crazy. Meth, I'll never forget, man. Meth, he was on the bus, right? And I don't know what he was on. I think he might have been on ecstasy or something like that. But Nick, I don't know what happened, but he couldn't. I guess he wanted to do his part, shoot his part, and I guess he was anticipating he'd be able to shoot it at some point, and it was like they delayed him or whatever. Dog, he started boohooing and basically having a tantrum like a little kid. And me and Riz was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" And he was crying like, "No, man, this ain't fair." And he was literally crying. I was like, "Yo, he's on something. He's definitely on something." He probably gonna be like, "Yo, that's some fucked up shit." He telling that story. But yeah, man, Oliver. Without Oliver, bro, there's so much. There would be a huge hole in the culture without Oliver Grant's contributions. Shout out to Oliver Power Grant. Staten Island's finest, man, the son of Jamaica, man. Um, Wu Tang forever. You know what I mean? Like he was really the thing, man, and he never wanted to put himself in the forefront like that because he could have been, you know, Diddy size. He could have been, Jay-Z size, like, but he played his part, Kind of remind me of Jeff Dixon. Like huge impact, very small footprint. You dig? Like if you didn't know who he was, there's a lot of people who are now first really like this is their first time hearing about him. In the midst of all of the posts and the people who are posting and the people who are commenting on the post about his passing. And he was only 52 years old, bro. He was only 52, bro. But I'm glad to have made his acquaintance, to have been able to, build with him and be able to call him my brother and my friend. And it truly is a dimmer place, bro. Without him, the world is a little less light because he ain't in it. And I'm really serious. Like for real. He was that kind of an impactful human being. He was a very unique human being. Truly was. And there's going to be something, I guarantee you, and we will be there. There's going to be something huge done in his honor. I guarantee that. I guarantee that because he warrants it. He definitely warrants it. You know, there's there are few people who will have lived as few years as he's lived and have the degree of impact that he's had and still be so obscure to most people. You may not have seen his face, but you've definitely felt his presence, and you will be feeling his presence, for the, untold time to come, man, for real. And shout out to Power, man, for real, man. Love, man. But as he would say, if he was if he was here, in fact, he's probably on my show right now, like, all right, niggas die, niggas. It is what it is, nigga. I did what I came to do. I'm good, son. I'm good, Lord. That's what it's. I'm good, Lord. Ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. So yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I'm glad that I got to know him, you know? So, I mean, there's so much going on, bro. The I was looking at my wife was showing me something earlier, and this happened like last month. There's a brother named Julian Bailey, father of three, husband, beloved brother out of DC, and he was killed by uh, U.S. Marshals, and they playing all kinds of games, bro. They're not giving these people, the U.S. Marshals, on some like, oh, we don't comment on, ongoing investigations, playing their bureaucratic cracker bullshit, Like, this is why I speak so much on education, educating yourself. I'm not telling you, oh, you need to go back to school and all shit like that. I'm personally not interested in, like, I didn't like school. I didn't like school, bro. You know, I liked learning. I just didn't like school. And I'm not anti school, but I'm definitely pro self education, whether you're going to an institution or not. And it's for reasons like all of the things that are happening right now. The fact that there's so much going on right now. People have never been, well, I won't say never, but it's been a long time since our people have had cause to be as aware of social political events and occurrences. Cats have been, like I've said before, it's been party time. The 80s, a lot of the 80s for a lot of cats, because they were just coming out, just getting outside, was party time. I had political awareness because of, uh, as it might be a surprise to people, the underworld and politics are inextricable from one another, So as a kid growing up in an organized crime family, you are constantly in the presence of conversations about what is happening on the political level, and mostly on not like so much local government but federal government, because whoever's in that office has a significant impact on the narco economy. Like, Reagan let it come in, Bush let it come in, you know, Clinton let it come in, you know, uh, Nixon, Nixon fucked with it. You know what I mean? He had a different agenda. He was given a different script. He was given a different directive and different focus or whatever, I guess. But you know, to be alive right now, and if you're anywhere between 20s, early 20s, and your 60s, man, you gotta know what's happening. And there's a lot of information. It's not like it was in the past where you had to go and really seek the information. Like, if you wanted to know what was happening at a rally somewhere, or in a public forum somewhere, or in Congress or whatever, like, you had to tune into those stations and those newspapers, that particular media. The media was particular to those subjects. Now, man, you can't really scroll without it popping up. You can't really scroll without it coming on your screen. So accessing the events is not nearly as challenging as it had been in the past, or not. I'd say I can't say challenging because that would imply that people were trying and meeting resistance. It wasn't as obscure, like it's not as obscure as it once was. It is in your face. And I know that cats are just like scroll away or whatever, but you can scroll away all you want. It's it's here. It's in your face. And where we are now, this is a pivotal point. There are changes that are happening now that whether you pay attention or not, you're going to be impacted by it. Not looking is not going to save you. Not looking is not going to spare you the negative impact. I think, and it's obvious that people who don't have much, it's neither here nor there to them. They don't have much. They don't own anything. They don't have any prospects. So it really doesn't matter to them whether or not somebody is going to do or is doing or has done something that will lessen opportunity for them, because as far as they're concerned, they don't have any opportunities anyway. But that's not as much the case as people think it is or like to act like it is. It's not that much. It's not that it's there are no opportunities. It's that people are operating today. And I'm talking about young people. You got young people who have only been around for 20, 22 years. And they're operating today like they're looking through the lens of their parents and their parents' experiences and their parents' expectations based on those experiences. Like, what I mean by that is expecting for there to be menial laborist jobs. That was a reasonable expectation for people who were born in the 50s or the 60s, even the 70s. When I say menial laborers jobs, I mean restaurant work, driving cabs, working in certain types of manufacturing. But since the people who were born in those decades, since they had come of age, since we have come of age, the world has changed. If our children have inherited our perspectives based upon our experiences, then they are missing what has happened in the time since we came up into our adulthood and so forth. Those kinds of jobs, those kinds of opportunities are being automated out. Society is evolving by way of technology in a way that makes those types of opportunities as vast. Those things kind of used to be the blood of this country, working class people, driving buses and working in factories, driving trucks, uh, working in supermarkets and all that kind of stuff. Those kinds of jobs they were like the white blood cells of this country. But the advancements of technology, like as subtle as it may have been, and I mean subtle to most people because they're not being smacked in the head with it, but it's happening right in front of them. It's happening in increments, like I've said so many times about change. Change happens constantly. But when people don't pay particular attention to it, like if you didn't look at your face, if you took a week, 2 weeks, and did not look in the mirror for 2 weeks at all, nothing reflective, don't look at your face for 2 weeks.
It be all type of boogers in your eye, it be stuff in your beard.
Like, bro, you would look at yourself and be like, oh shit, I ain't even, and it'd be some shit that was there, but as it, came, you were seeing it every day. So each time you looked, your mind adapted that change, and that became your new norm. So as you get older, as a for instance, you start to develop lines or um, maybe divots or something, just imperfections because you're exposed to the environment and all that kind of stuff. And if you were to not look at yourself for a month and then look at yourself, whatever little incremental changes had occurred in that period of time, you would notice them instantly because you were not adapting or updating your facial features or the, you know, changes in your face day to day to day. So you wouldn't have an update. So it'd be one condition one day, and then the next time you looked, it would be maybe not that great a difference, but a difference. And because you hadn't been keeping pace with the gradual change, you would notice it. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know where the fuck did that come from? You know? So that's what it's been like in terms of the changes that have been occurring as the technology has been advancing and changing what opportunity is today as opposed to what it was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. The lack of exposure.
25 years ago is only 2001. It's crazy.
That's right. That's right. But in 2001, what we're doing right now wasn't possible. What we're doing right now with the devices that we have in front of us right now wasn't possible. The internet wasn't what it is. People's ability to access it. Remember, I said my first laptop was $3,800. Like, people didn't have access nor practical reason. If it wasn't for me doing the magazine thing, I wouldn't have had a reason to go and spend $4,000 for a laptop. And I didn't really spend $4,000 for the laptop. I was doing something that was enabling me to get things without actually paying for them, but that might be another story for another day. See, I never told y'all about that. Y'all did know I retired from the narcotics game, but you don't know what I did after I retired from the narcotics game because I never spoke on it. When I stopped selling drugs in '97. I didn't stop doing crime. I just got away from something that I felt would more than likely result in me losing a tremendous amount of my time in the free world. So I shifted to something else. I evolved. I advanced with the technology. Technology had changed in such a way that I was able to access resources that I wouldn't have been able to access maybe 10 years before. Well, people were, but it would have been significantly more expensive. Somebody did try to put me onto it like 5 years earlier, but I was like, I don't do that type of shit. That's some funny style niggas. They do that type of shit. You know what I mean? That's what we used to think, that only the sus niggas did the white collar shit. Sus niggas and whiteys did the white collar shit. I'm a nigga. I sell narcotics, nigga. You know what I mean? It's that type of mindset. Nigga showed me a stack of credit cards like that. He said, "Yo, we made these." I was like, "Yeah, all right." Because I think you got to have a. I thought at the time you had to have a computer the size of a building to make credit cards. That's what I thought. Now, ask me why I thought that. Based on what? Based on what? Like, I didn't research it. It was just an idea that just was implanted in my mind from nowhere. Just imagining things. This is what we do. This is why we get in our own way in terms of learning, because we think we know shit that we don't know. And if you think you already know it, you ain't listening because you think you already fucking know. That's what makes us unteachable. So, in terms of the technology that has been changing gradually over these last 30, 40 years, like just in the last 20 something years, this is a particular experience that I had that kind of put this into context for me. This was after All-Star Weekend in Atlanta, right? It was '03.
Yeah.
And crazy big weekend, right? We down there, we doing our thing. We had a ball, right? That's when me and 50 first connected. Like this is after, like we had already connected, but this is when we were really building.
Yeah.
And so I meet, just like you were saying earlier, but you connect with people, go to these events, you connect with people, and then you follow up on that business. So I met these brothers out of Ohio, and they were a family of people who had like uh, their whole family had been caught up in this narcotic shit, right? Their whole family had been caught up in this drug thing, and but they were getting it for a minute. So it was like the kid, one of the guys' name was Tree, right? Little light skinned dude, and he rapped, and his older brother. I got a picture of me and his older brother. I got on like the iceberg sweater with my waist length mink coat and some Girbaud jeans and some fresh wheat Timbs. Dope picture we took down in Cincinnati. So I had met them All-Star Weekend. They came to Atlanta, and they was like, "Yo, we want to get in the magazine. We want to do a whole campaign. So, why don't you come to Ohio? Come, kick it with us, whatever." All right, cool. So when the weekend was over, I got on the plane. I sent y'all back up top with the van. No, I took y'all back up top, and I parked the van in the airport. Because I remember I came back and I was like, damn, man, $200 for, because I got stuck out there because of snowstorm. That's how I ended up missing Swiss and Lashonda's wedding. Because I'm the one that talked them into getting married, and I didn't make the wedding because I got caught in a snowstorm out there. So I'm out there with these dudes, right? And these dudes they had done it real big out there prior to their getting busted. It was like the brothers, the the their sisters, boyfriends or husbands, their uh, their father, their aunt, like multiple members in their family. And these motherfuckers had, one of them had 18 years old, had 90 acres, another one had 60 acres. Like these motherfuckers was getting it, right? They all had beautiful homes. And then, somebody went bad, not none of them, and they got busted. The whole family. Only one that didn't go to jail was like the mama and like one of the sisters or something like that. It's been a long time, but this I remember it was like 23 years, right? And they all went to jail. Nobody told. They all did 10 years, came home to all their shit, right? So now they they had a clothing store, record store, and they wanted to do the music thing. So I did a campaign for them and all that. And when I went out there, I got to figure out how to eat, right? The vegan thing. So I get out there and they take me to the supermarket. So this will put in perspective how like really how long ago this was in terms of changes and so forth. I walk into the supermarket. It was like a Kroger or something like that. Something similar, not a Kroger, something similar to a Kroger.
Myers.
In Cleveland? I mean, was it Cleveland?
Yeah.
They Cleveland? They
Myers.
Cleveland? No, where's that part of Ohio that Cam and them used to be in? They wasn't in Cleveland.
Dayton. Dayton.
I think it was Dayton. I think it was Dayton. I think it was Dayton. So when we go into the supermarket, I see those self checkout things. They're new, and I see these young melanated sisters working the registers. So I go to the register because I understand that that is designed to replace them. So I'm gonna go and support them. I'm going to use them, because that's how you vote. You vote with your dollars, black people. And I hate the term black people because black is not a it's not a people, and the implications of it are Black means no color. That's the real meaning of it. Like it's it's a whole other thing. But I go and I sit there and I go to the girl behind the counter, to the behind the register, and I give her, I put my stuff up there, whatever, and then I say, man, that those automated checkouts, man, those self checkouts, man, that's some fucked up shit, you know, or something to that effect, something anti that technological change or advancement. And this girl must have been about 22, maybe 21. She go, what's your problem? This and she start like beefing. I'm just looking at her like, are you fucking retarded? Like you're arguing with me about supporting you being able to continue to be employed by supporting the interaction with you as a human being as opposed to dealing with the checkout. But you're actually making the argument to support the self checkout thing and eliminating, I'm not going to say nothing ugly, but eliminating you and this mindset you have. Like you don't, this is the kind of person that votes for somebody who's going to create the kinds of changes in the world that will make them living impossible. This is the kind of person, because this person is so mentally incompetent, because this person doesn't have any educational practices, no cognizant practices, no critical thinking practices, And I'm like, are you arguing for the thing that's going to replace you? I said that to her. I mean, I like, it was obvious, like, you're like really fucking ignorant, right? But I gotta say this to you. I gotta at least plant this seed, and maybe in a year from now, when you no longer have a job, and it's, instead of there being 10 registers and two of those checkout lanes, it's two of those self-checkout, two registers and 10 of those self-checkout lanes, then you'll go, oh, this is what he was talking about, trying to make me think about. Like, what the fuck? But this kind of deficit in their intellectual processes is what is screwing these young people making their way into the world up now, and the not so young people who have not kept pace with the changes, who are unemployable because they have not kept pace with what employers need as they implement new technologies and new practices with their businesses. And this all comes down to education, the self-education, keeping pace with what's going on. Like really keeping, and I'm not talking about watching the news and them feeding you whatever line of propaganda or manipulation that they want to. I'm talking about you deliberately and specifically targeting bits of information that will give you the insights you need in order for you to remain competitive and competent and useful in the society that is evolving all around you. But if you are looking as a young person through the lens of the people who raised you, who came up in a different time, and you're expecting that you will be able to go and get yourself a nice job in a factory somewhere, and get in a union, and get a some type of insurance, and retirement. Like you're not looking through updated eyes. You're not. You're not looking through updated eyes. And you just got here. You're 22, 23, 25, 26 years old. You just got here. And this is not the world that people my age grew up in. This is not that world. This is the reason why, and I haven't spoken about this in a minute. This is the reason why that projection about the median household income for melanated people by 2053 being zero. Zero. This is the reason. Because you're not keeping pace with the technological advances and changes that are happening, which would make you competent and employable or even able to create your own businesses based upon what the needs of today are and the needs of tomorrow will be. Because you think that you can do like your parents did 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, which find you a little job, and dig in, and you're going to be here for the next however long people work jobs for 40 years. My mother-in-law worked at one job, her first job. She worked in the hospital. She did billing at Presbyterian for 40 years and retired. Never had no other job. 40 years. You can't do that no more. You'll know that, right? Don't let your people tell you that you can do that anymore. You can't do that no more. And I know a lot of y'all are being encouraged to do that. Y'all are being encouraged. Just go on and get your high school diploma and go on and get you a good get in a union and get you a good job, whatever. Come and work at my job, whatever. And they're not hiring, and your high school diploma ain't gonna get it because they're automating. They're implementing technologies that require you know how to operate certain types of technology that your high school diploma is not providing with the information to do. Motherfucker can't even operate a forklift no more. Firstly, the forklift don't need you. It don't need you. It's automated. It's operated by AI. And it don't need pee breaks, don't need lunch breaks. It doesn't care about a union. It doesn't need Medicaid. It doesn't need unemployment. If you fire it, it won't need uh, a workers' comp. None of that. Understand, and this is another thing. Without education, without information, I won't refer to it as education at all the time. I can't abandon the concept of education. But I won't refer to it as education all the time. I'll alternate to the information. And you can get information. I mean, I read about 10, 15, 20 articles a day of all kinds of shit, all kinds of things. And by way of doing that, I become apprised of not only new terms and new words, new phrases, but I keep abreast of what's happening in a bunch of different areas of our society. It's not so that I can know everything that's going on with everybody everywhere. It's so that I can, one, keep my brain in the gym so my shit don't go flabby. Like what happens every time I stop working out. I mean, this is flabby, but this is flabby for me because I've been training my body so long. Your brain is a muscle. It needs to be trained. And if you stop training it, that bitch will go soft on you, son. And it's shit that you used to know. Not only will you not be able to wrap your mind around new shit, you won't be able to really grasp the shit that you already knew. I gotta address, the three people that are watching me here on live. Shout out to those three people. I fucks with you. We're gonna keep doing this. You dig? Like, I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna fuck what you knucklehead motherfuckers is on, how distracted and backward you are. I'm not gonna stop. That's the reason why I stayed alive, healthy, free, and fucking functional. Because I didn't give a fuck what other people were doing. I recognized what I needed to do. And I did that. And I'm trying to encourage that in all of you. Just like I've encouraged it in my children. You know, you better keep up. you better catch up. You better catch up, man. For real, for real. I challenge you, whoever you are, I challenge you, when you wake up tomorrow, write the time you woke up. Get yourself a little piece of paper. Get yourself a pen and shit. Right. I woke up at 7 something, whatever this and the other, and I did this. And just do that all day. Just do it all day, just that one day. And then look at like what you do with your time. Like you look at that from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. And I'm talking about be meticulous, write everything. I did this from this time to this time, from 7:45 to 7:59. I did this, and from that time to this time I did this, and I drove from this time to this time, and I got on Instagram at this time, and I got off at this time, and went to Facebook, and then got on my video game, and then called a bunch of girls trying to see who was going to have sex with me, because that is something that is really important to me. And yeah, just and then multiply that. Like say, okay, this is what I did with one of my days. So unless I do something drastically different tomorrow, I can assume this is what I do with, my Mondays through my Fridays. And if that's the case, then I probably do that from the 1st to the 31st, or as it's were, the 28th. And see what you're doing with your time. And then ask yourself, if I continue to do this with my time for the next 5 years, will I be anywhere near the condition or the life that I say when I'm smoking on that blunt and swigging on that liquor and standing on the corner or standing on the block or sitting on the couch, you know, I say I want. Yeah, nigga, because I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to do, and I'm on this shit, and I'm on, like, yeah. Ask yourself if the things you're saying that you want and you want to have, you want to do, and you want to experience, and the places you want to go and all of that. This is only for the people who actually want shit. I know not everybody wants something. I know that. I know some of you motherfuckers is like, I don't want nothing. Okay, cool. Cool. Go go hold your breath and lay on the highway or something. You know what I'm saying? Like hold your breath, and between holding your breath and the traffic, you know, you'll work it out.
They got to run across like on both finger.
Oh, or like Frogger, like back in the day, like Frogger. Go play Frogger, nigga.
Yeah, we wasn't rolling.
Niggas don't know about both finger. Niggas don't know about both finger, yeah. But it's imperative, man. It is abundantly important that you start paying attention to some fucking thing. And I would say paying attention to what you're doing with your time is probably the first thing you should really focus on. Because a lot of us aren't doing what we think we're doing. That's a big thing. Like you ain't doing what you think you're doing. You think you're doing some shit, but firstly, you probably don't know how to do the shit that you think you're doing. But because you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. So you think you do. This is recorded, so you can play that back as much as you need to. It's I know a lot of people, it's apparent a lot of people just don't really want to be here. And it's got a lot to do with the fact that they don't have any prospects or any focus. If you had something to look forward to, then you would be more motivated to want to be here. So you should work on that. If you understood how unlikely it was that you would be here, you'd have more appreciation for the fact you are here. I'm talking about the whole process. There's a there's a very good chance that the father that made you could have got knocked off before he got a chance to do that. There's a good chance that once he met your mother and copulated with her, there's a good chance that you wouldn't have been the sperm that made it to the egg. A very good chance. It's very, very, very good chance. It's like it's millions, and you were the one that made it. The rest of those motherfuckers didn't made it. They got flushed out, or, or swallowed, or dropped off in the anus. Okay, wait a minute. The fuck? Where am I? You know what I mean? Like, then there's the whole gestation period, the whole 9 months you got to be in there. That that's not guaranteed you're gonna make it through that process. That ain't guaranteed. There's a lot of things against the probability of you making it into this world. The creation of life is it's an amazing process, and in the fact that there and have been for a very long time making people in laboratories, like you've all heard of, I mean, artificial insemination and test tube babies, all kind of shit. Like, obviously they can, they can make a person now, right? And that's been the case since I was a kid. But you know, for those of you motherfuckers that are not test tube babies, um, all the stuff that went into the making of you, so that's a big fucking deal, man. That's a big deal. But what you gonna do with it though? You just gonna smoke 10 blunts a day, drink a fifth, play video games for 7 to 8 hours, and try to trick some girl into thinking you're worthy of having sex with because you you fresh some fucking how. Like this really? I mean, think about it now. Think about it. Is that what it is? Is that what it's about? Is that what we doing?
A lot of us goddamn this shit on both sides. Chicks are sitting around on Instagram watching baddies all day, and then they calling a nigga to feed them, and then they calling a nigga to come through and knock them off. They going to sleep and waking up and doing it again.
Well, shit. Then talking to them too. Talking to them too, man.
No, I'm
Talking to
not
them
just
too.
saying that. I'm just saying like motherfuckers are stuck. Like it's two sides of the same coin that love being the nickel.
Yeah, yeah. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. And I mean, all I can offer is don't be that nigga. Somebody gonna be it, but don't you be it. Whoever you are, don't you be it. Let somebody else be it. I mean, you've seen the outcomes. It ain't good. It's not good. It's nothing you want. And man, woe is you if you fuck around and don't die young. Ooh, if you don't die young, oh my. You fuck around and blow 40 years. Not it ain't gonna just be that you don't have anything or anyone, but we just hit the hour mark. So we count down. It's not going to be that you don't have anything or anyone. You're also 9 times out of 10, if you're making kinds of decisions that are having that degree of a negative impact on your life where you don't have anything and you don't have anyone, you're probably not making very good decisions as it relates to your health either. So you're going to be unhealthy, diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, kidney malfunction, You done drank so much liquor, you cause brain damage. You done smoke so many blunts. You you done develop uh, emphysema, lung cancer, throat cancer. Like, so you're sick, you're old, you're broke, you're lonely, and you're too scared to kill yourself, but you ain't got a life worth living.
Do the dick still work?
Not very well. I mean, you start having circulatory problems. If you eating like shit, you eating McDonald's, you eating fast food or whatever, that shit will fuck your circulation up. You like the number one cause of deaths is not car accidents, plane accidents, shootings, violence. The number one cause of death is cholesterol. That's the number one cause of people dying. That's what causes heart attacks and aneurysms and strokes. And those are the number one killers.
So how often is this sometime when the dick not working? It
More,
sounds not bad to most
more,
motherfuckers. It's like,
you really? For real? God damn. What you gotta say to these niggas, man? Like, what the fuck?
if your dick don't work, you say that dick don't work, nigga, hey, nigga, change this nigga, convert to Islam, Buddha, all that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Because these are very base concerns, very base. You know, like it's like the simplest, most basic concerns, and I guess if you haven't had the encouragement to think beyond sensation, security, and control, then what else is there, right?
Man, old dudes be at the pharmacy, they be like, sir, your blood pressure medicine is $200, your Viagra is 30. You be like, shit, let me get the Viagra, I'll be alright.
Yeah. Oh, that's the perfect thing to do because Viagra it redirects blood flow away from your brain and other extremities. Because you have a hard dick and you can't feel your fingers or your feet, and you can't see, and you're not quite sure where you are. In fact, you don't even know what the fuck this is. What is this? I don't know what that is. What do I do with it?
Hey, put it in for me, goddamn.
Goddamn, put it in for me, goddamn. But it's it's tragic,
Yeah.
and you think shit's fucked up now. If you figure by 2053 there'll be like zero median household income for melanated people, you know how bad it's going to be by 2033? And 2033 ain't but what, 7 years away? You know how bad it's going to be? If it's going to be zero by 2053, shit, by 2033, it's going to be definitely well below the poverty line, well below what it needs to be in order for a person to be able to sustain their existence. And I'm talking about sustain your existence. I'm not talking about live a life. I'm talking about to sustain your existence, just to keep you from starving to death or freezing to death like that poor sister did outside of that hospital in Chicago, I believe it was, about 3 weeks ago. 40 something years old, and froze to death outside of a hospital. It's going to be a lot more of that. There's a Nobody ever says when I grow up I'm going to be homeless and destitute. Nobody ever said that. So how do so many people end up homeless and destitute if it's nobody's plan? No one's plan. Nobody says when I grow up I'll be fucked up in a cardboard box. Nobody says that. But more and more people are in those situations. There's an old saying, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. I don't know if people understand that old sayings are old because they never not true. That's why they're old. That's why they don't go away, because there's constant reinforcement by reality of the validity of those sayings. Like, yeah, if you fail to plan, then by virtue of failing to plan, no, you must plan on failing. That must be the plan. The plan must be to fucking fail. So get your mind right. Get your mind right. That's it, son. We gave him an hour and 6 minutes. And
Yeah.
y'all make sure y'all catch us, man, on iHeart Radio at Blazing 420 WPAM, and on YouTube at Comedian TyMillz and Cavario the Mind Plug. And make sure that when you go to our YouTubes that you hit subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification button so you know when we're doing this and when we post new videos. And if you're not following us on Instagram, my Instagram is Cavario_the_mind_plug. And my son's is multiples. You got they,
Comedian TyMillz underscore.
okay, Comedian TyMillz_. And also they hate Mills.
Yeah.
All right. And yes, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the people who joined me on live here. Next time you'll be watching us both. You just got to get another device. I guess
I
you just
got you.
get another phone. Just put that, just put another phone to it. But I would really say like get a laptop. And get like a $200 laptop or something like that. $150 laptop, some small portable like that. And yeah, son, I love you.
Love you too, bro.
Indeed. And for the rest of you, you know what I always say: think critically so that you may live wonderfully. Peace. Mind plug out.
Rule forever, man.
Wu Tang forever. Power, sleeping power. Thanks for joining me. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday on Instagram as well. And we're gonna, I want to do both, but until he's able to join, whatever, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just do this with my Tuesdays as well. We do this at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We do it on my Instagram, and yes, hopefully y'all were able to hear him, and y'all will join us again next Tuesday. Check out some of the other videos that I've already posted on this page, and if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe, hit that notification button, and also tell a friend. We Poppin' Son is the #1 talk show, #1 father and son talk show in the world. Nobody's doing what we're doing. Nobody's talking about what we're talking about. And it gets better. Stick with us. Unplug out.